Alright, what's good, boys? So I don't know how to do these kind of videos, and I'm a little sick, so my voice sounds weird, and I'm using photo booth because I don't have a mic at the moment. Oh, because I broke my camera. Anyway, in the news, right, or not news, in the YouTube community, there's been all this drama circled around James, what's his face? James Charles. And so he had this scandal with the boy at Coachella. He was trying to manipulate a straight boy, or allegedly. And there was allegedly a video of him sucking dick at Coachella, a video of him twerking, a video of him doing this, and then the whole thing with the Sugar Bear hairs and the Halo Bears, or Halo Vitamins, which is the two brands, one of them being owned by Tati, and Tati is the basically the role model who really brought James into the light in the YouTube community. And so basically the point of this video is to, I guess, shed light on the situation. Maybe I'll give my opinion, but yeah. I'll put a few clips of some of the videos in here now. Oh, and I just want to highlight a few things of James Charles's apology afterwards. So anyway, here, we'll just look at this.
I just wanted to congratulate you on almost 1 million on Instagram. I want to say huge congratulations to James Charles. If you have not checked his channel out on YouTube and you want to be inspired, he's a freaking teenager and he's like a genius with makeup. James Charles is the face of their holiday collection, and I saw him do a really cool look, and it just made me want to try this palette.
In the grand scheme of it all, you have to really check in with yourself and really think about, is this really a thing? Because if not, you're going to be sitting on the internet crying over vitamins when things are really going on around the world. But I'm not one to tell you how to feel, but vitamins. So if you're going to go on the internet and cry and heavily imply that there's a horrible human being and everybody can get what it is, girl, sit on the internet and talk about it then.
This is me having someone that I mentored, someone that I cared for, really not care for me and exhibit that. There was speculation when Shane Dawson came over to hang out with me, who I adore. I don't know terribly well. We've been talking for a couple of months. The day that he came over, where we were just playing with makeup, that had been planned for a very long time. We had been talking. That date had been set before all of this kicked up. And I just, I can't help but think that James Charles felt like that was somehow some sneaky thing that happened, because his ego is so big that he will think that everything is about him. He contacted me through my DMs, when he was first starting out. He was 17. He was wide-eyed and ready to make it on Instagram and social media. And, he kind of had his YouTube channel going, but not really. He always told me that I was the reason that he wanted to get into makeup, and I was the reason that he was inspired to start his channel, and that my channel was one of his favorites, and he just loved watching me. And it was just nice to hear, to be honest. I was like, wow, this kid, really, I'm the grown-up inspiration. This, cool, how can I help you? But I was going to help him. A lot of people online were crapping all over him back in the day. He had drama with Nikita Dragon. I've never screwed him over. I've never publicly humiliated him. I've never done any of that. And a lot of people who are buddy-buddy with him right now have not always had his best interest. They didn't want him to succeed. They saw this new kid coming up and they're like, no, this is not going to happen. And I was constantly like, you're talented. You've got this. Keep going. What do you need? How can I help you? I had a lot of influence at the time, and I had his back then. I invited him to my wedding. He didn't have money for the flight or hotel, so I paid for that happily, and he felt a little bit bad about it, and I was like, hey, let's just have fun, and you can do my makeup for my wedding and help me out. It's sad to think that I will never be able to watch my wedding video without seeing his face and thinking of him and thinking about all the things I hoped our relationship would be. I always envisioned that he would grow up. At some point, we'd kind of meet up as friends because he would be an adult. And it is such a unique industry that we're in that it feels really nice when you have someone to connect with through business that really understands the complexity of everything involved in having a YouTube channel, being a creator. James Charles never even apologized to my James. If this was just about Halo, then, I had mentioned to him that, it did kind of suck that he had never had me on his channel. And it's just really funny that we didn't end up collabing until it was in his favor. So he was popping off online about exposing the beauty community and doing a docuseries. And I was like, no. How entitled do you have to be to think that you have it rough? You are a 19-year-old millionaire. The last phone conversation that James Charles and I had, he said some things telling me about a situation that happened in Seattle at my birthday, and it literally made me want to vomit. Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay yet again, and somehow you're the victim. I do also want to tell you guys, add insult to injury. The Sugar Bear hair thing, that was a blatant lie. Like, come on. You went to Coachella, somehow had a security issue, and magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day for you and all of your friends. No company would ever go out of their way to have an extra, handful of passes that cost thousands of dollars a piece, like just in case.
He got in a situation he didn't think about, the future or his relationships with people. He wanted to have the good time. He wanted to make the money, and it really seems like I don't know why he would be embarrassed of Tati. Maybe it's because she's older. Maybe it's because she's less, she's got less subscribers, or maybe it's like a power play because, Tati brought him into the community and now he's so much bigger than her. But we can see his apologies here, and I'll bring a few clips in. And from those clips, we can kind of get the sense it's really not a. I don't find it sincere. Like, it's kind of like that Laura Lee thing that was going around, and it just doesn't seem like a good thing. And also, he's got his tour coming up after the whole scandal with the $500 concert tickets. I just feel like James is in some hot water right now, and he's not handling it the best way. But here's something. I'll just show you a few clips here.
I met Tati and James almost 3 years ago now, when I was first coming into the industry and when I had no friends and nobody to talk to or look up to. And Tati very quickly took on a parental role with me. And I'm so disappointed in myself that I ruined a relationship that did mean so much to me, even if I didn't do the best job of showing it all the time. And throughout all of this, what sucks the most is that I know there's nothing I can say or do to ever earn that friendship or trust back. And let me know, hey, talking to these boys might get you in trouble one day. And she was right. In regards to my own mother, well, I know you want to defend me and fight for me and go off on comments, but I ask that you don't. This is my problem that I got myself into, and this is my job to deal with this. Mom, I need you to know that you're the most important person in my life, and that you're an amazing mother. I need you to know that. I need you to know that. And the same thing goes for Tati. A lot of times when I've had to address things in the past, I've acted out of impulse, and I've gone off and tried to pull receipts or facts or screenshots and play the victim. And I'm not doing that today. I'm not.
And kind of notice here, what was really interesting to me is Tati is the one that he really hurt Tati. And his mom is defending him. That's why he's mentioning his mom. And Tati did not drag his mom, but Tati said that when James's parents came over and they thanked Tati and said, "Thank you for looking out for my boys." Here, I'll just put the clip in.
When James Charles's parents left my home, Christy, you grabbed my hand and you said, thank you for looking out for my boys. Like, keep looking out for them. And I have. And, I'm handing that back to you. Like, you need to not be on Instagram liking comments and sharing with people that you're disappointed that I'm upset. You need to be not on Instagram. You need to be here in LA because your boys need you.
And so to me, it's weird that James is, he's got his crocodile salty tears with his mom, but no emotion for Tati. He does not, it doesn't seem at all remorseful or realistic when he should be apologizing more to Tati, who literally gave him his fortune. And there was a lot of good points brought up on Tati's side, and just seems like not the best situation. I feel like a lot of the YouTube community they were defending James Charles. With the concert tickets, he was in some hot water and people defended him. And then the whole thing with the straight guy, he tried to make him gay or something like that. And he always jokes about being in love with straight boys.
You were talking in detail about things you wanted to do to the waiter. And when I said, James, he's straight, your response was, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity.
It's not something necessarily that funny if he's being serious, because that can haunt someone for their entire life, that you tried to make them straight, or they experimented and it was a nightmare, or you manipulated them and you traumatized them by trying to make them perform some sexual acts for you. It's just a really, really messed up situation. I do give my support to Tati instead of James Charles, because, you know, I first I was very heavily on the side of James Charles, and as I kind of got back into the video, as I kind of watched both sides, Tati made a really long video explaining her side, explaining why she was hurt, explaining all this stuff that went down, and James, he doesn't take responsibility for anything in his apology. He says,
in regards to the Coachella situation with the brand deal and the security guard, I've already told my truth about this twice. And instead of talking about it for a third time and explaining it and going into detail and pulling up receipts, it doesn't matter. And I understand that no matter what I say or do, there are always going to be people that don't believe me and will think that I'm lying. And that's okay. At this point, the truth really does not matter. It's the feelings that do. And no matter what happened, I hurt two very, very important people.
Now see, if you pay attention to his words, right, when he talks, he says, you know, the truth doesn't matter, I'm gonna take responsibility, I'm sorry, in regards to this situation. He says he's taking responsibility, but he's not. He's saying, I could go pull up receipts, I could do this, I could show you guys what happened, right? But it doesn't matter, We're not in pursuit of the truth, we're talking about feelings. And he's like, oh, I've already told it again, I'm not going to retrace my steps and retell the story. You know why? Because he's a fucking liar, alright? And so he doesn't want to retrace that. He's not taking responsibility. He is avoiding the confrontation and saying, sorry, but he's still insinuating that he is innocent in some way by saying, I could go pull up receipts and do this and do that. Anyway, I just wanted to highlight that part's kind of iffy to me. Yeah, that's my rundown. In my opinion, I think James is not being a good person. He's not being a role model still. That apology was half-assed. It wasn't realistic. It wasn't sincere. Or at least it didn't come off that way. And he spent more tears over his mom defending him than actually fixing something that he severely wronged with Tati. So kind of building on what I was saying before, I just wanted to highlight again that James, he's not taking responsibility. He is still playing the victim, and no matter how he says he's going about it, as we see, he says, I'm sorry, right? I disappointed these people. He never explicitly puts himself in the position of vulnerability that is required of someone in order to take responsibility. He refuses to talk about it. He said he's already talked about it twice, blah, 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 blah. But he's not actually taking responsibility. He said sorry. He said this, he said that. He said, Mom, I'm sorry for this. This is bullshit, quite frankly. And I'm not disappointed to say that. It's beyond me to see how this boy at 19 years old is following this path of self-righteousness, and he's just kind of he's just going down this path. And it, like, with the whole scandal thing for the $500 tickets, he is a celebrity. He does have power, he does have fame, he does have money, and he knows he can use it. That's how he can get away with. He could probably charge $700 and still get away with it. Celebrities can get away with it because they can. No one's going to stop them. Maybe they don't sell all the tickets, but they can do that because they have that fame and power. And James Charles he's going too far with it. And I'm really happy that Tati called him out, I bet.